Okay, so here we have a game for Cho'Gath. Tutorial for Cho'Gath. I'll go for the runes and the masteries at the end of the segment. But this is a solo queue game with some really good players. Chris is really high ELO. I think he's like 2.6k mandatory cloud, over 2.6k. And on the enemy team, Westdoor0204. He plays from Taiwan. He's a really good TF player. Poo, just really good AD carry. So we're gonna go through this game and we're gonna pick out what I did wrong, and let's just talk about Cho'Gath. So let's go. So right off the bat, I buy as fast as possible. Pick up boots 3 pots. Boots 3 pots, always good. The best start for a jungler. Sometimes you can go boots 1 pot and 1 ward, but that's like more advanced, and you need to have a certain scenario to pull that off.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So I see a moon right here. I know no one is as fast as me because I bought as fast as possible, and the likelihood of someone in solo queue being that fast is just it's probably not going to happen. I have 416 move speed, and no one else on their team has close to 416 move speed. So we're just sitting right here, just going to check out what's happening at Amumu's blue. It's warded. That's a great job by Elite JB. That ward basically would kill us had we chosen to stay and try to take their blue. So we're going to back away from this. He used his ward, which is good. Just that little invade forced a ward. It's not really that much of an advantage. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So I just start hitting the blue wraith. I level E level 1. E just helps you so much more jungling than Q does. You can see my skill order right here. 1 point into Vorpal Spikes. Janna and Graves are getting harassed. I think they managed to get their big golem, but they're not going to manage to get the little golem. So that's unfortunate, because that kind of hurts my path. Janna scouts out the ward, and that she sees that Nunu placed the ward in the tri-bush. So the great thing about that is that I know where the ward is, and I know where there isn't a ward. So it's pretty easy for me to just come up here and try to gank. Already Poo and Elite JB played perfectly and ended up getting a kill. So now we have to make what's best of this situation. Nunu flashes over. Let's see if we can catch him. Mandatory cloud. I tell him to respond. I'm pinging. And we catch Elite JB right here. This evens out the disadvantage that we had a little bit. Graves is going to come back to lane, and he's going to get the CS, whereas Vayne had to run all the way around. She did survive, which is good for her, and she got first blood, but she's going to be denied some EXP from the lane, because Graves didn't have to walk around. As soon as he died, he just rezzed and came back to lane, so it's going to even up the first blood gold. Oh wow, and this, I didn't know that there was a ward here, so I was just playing a little tricky. Elite JB just walked in and threw an ice ball. That was very silly from him because, well, he just took half his HP bar and damage, and he has no health pots. So again, bottom lane just holding, CSing. They're getting a great advantage here. See Graves with 9 CS, Vayne with 0 CS. So they think I'm in this brush. They don't actually know if I'm in this brush, but they think it. So I'm going to go in for a quick rupture, see what I can do. If I can't do anything, then... Oh, no, I didn't go for the rupture. Never mind. Oh, I see the creep wave is so piled up. Because Modesty Boy let it pile up, I went in for a dive. I want to deny them the CS. And down goes Elite JB again. And now Vayne is going to miss out on all of this CS. when the creep wave gets that piled up, you can do dives like these. You just have to be very careful about not dying to the tower and using your summoner spells effectively to get out of kill range from the tower. So you can see now this whole creep wave is going to get denied. I know Daisy Poo wants to go for it, so I'm going to try to presence her again to make sure that she doesn't get the CS. And she gets too greedy and dies. No problem. So all that CS is denied. Daisy Poo's sitting at 3 CS, and Graves is sitting at 19 CS. I know Amumu is just not a jungler that is very strong in the early game, so that's why I was able to do all those tower dives. That's why I was able to get all these advantages that I got for my bottom lane. Amumu is just really weak early game, and I don't really care where he is. And if he does come, I still have my flash up. You can see here I never used my flash in any of the engagements, so I was kind of safe in what I was doing. I'm quite behind when it comes to levels and gold, I think, from Amumu. Amumu probably has more gold than me, even though I have 3 assists. Oh, actually, no, I have more gold than him. I guess the assist gold's the assist gold made it worth it, so I'm not too far behind. All the ganks were successful, and assist gold is making up for my XP failure. You can see Graves bought a Berserker Greaves, 4 health potions, Endurance Blade. He's so far ahead of Vayne. I always try to keep track of Elite JB's wards. I know it's not awarded because I've checked his inventory multiple times. So I'm just going to sit here and see what I can do. If I can gimp the enemy AD carry, I should have probably gone in on that. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was waiting for a more opportune moment, but I think I should have gone in on that point. But there will be another opportunity because I know it's not warded. Always keep track of the support's ward if you're ganking bot lane. It's a rule that should be used in any lane, but primarily bottom lane. It's so easy to ward because people don't like throwing 50 wards out in they don't like throwing 50 wards out when it comes to bottom lane. They won't ward every single location. There's always usually a blind spot. Sometimes there isn't, and at that point, you just back away for 3 minutes until the ward expires, and it's all good. So I went up here, dropped a ward. I want a deep ward. Deep wards are always the best. If you can get a deep ward, always try to do them. So I see TF's trying to... Oh, that was so close. So they had it warded right here, and that's why they knew I was coming, and the Mumu pulled it back, but I was so close to stealing that blue buff. It was a waste of a flash, and you can see my levels, I'm kind of behind, but that's not a really big deal, just because I've given the advantage somewhere else. If you look, Graves is level 5, Janna's level 5, and Nunu and Vayne are level 3 and 3. So even though it looks like I'm weak and I'm behind, I've done a lot for my team, and that's all that I need to do. You see the CF's difference, 44 to 13. I've just damaged the lane beyond repair. So for some reason red buff's not showing up, but I'm doing red buff right here. I'm a little bit behind in levels when it comes to Mumu, but luckily I have a Katarina mid lane, and when I have a Katarina mid lane it allows me to take the blue buff, but actually I gave it to Olaf to snowball his advantage. Oh yeah. So normally I would have taken that blue buff, but Olaf is so behind due to him just misplaying versus Lee Sin. You can see Mumu has 0 assists, which means Olaf was killed twice in lane by this Lee Sin, so I want to try to even up that by getting a blue buff for my Olaf. You can just see the damage that I did to bottom lane is just, it's snowballing so hard right now. Mandatory Cloud gets a little too greedy and gets supported on by TF. I'm gonna turn on the sound a little bit. Hopefully no one dies here. Westdoor has his flash ready, but since he didn't lock in a gold card, I don't think he's going to get this kill. Yeah, no. Had he had a gold card, he would have got that kill, but he didn't. So I'm going to follow in with a silence. Always lead with a silence. People will try to juke you for the longest time if you lead with a silence. The second he commits to running away, because I have red buff and he's going to die from my auto attacks, then I throw out the rupture. You always hold your ruptures. A lot of skill shotting is a mind game, but the greatest mind game, the best thing you can do is hold on onto your skill shots as long as possible, because 99% of the time people's initial thought is to just keep dodging, and if you break first and you throw your skill shot, you're probably going to miss. Just let the enemy break first. Let them commit to running away. There's some times where I literally kill someone from full HP by just auto-attacking them because they just keep dodging and they keep letting me get free autos. So don't use your skill shot, because then it'll let them run away. If you just hold on to it, then it usually works out better that way. So anyways, speeding it back up. I'm just constantly camping this lane. I know they have a ward there, so I'm just going to sit on the side where there's no ward. And so they think they're safe at this point. Oh, nope. They know the tower's going down, so they're just going to back out. I'm going to eat this ward. So I've just been camping this bottom lane. Vayne Nunu can't really do anything if they get shut down like this. I think we're gonna go in for this dragon. Yep, this is a free dragon right here. So we just pick up the dragon.
Killing spree.
And if you look up here, our Olaf is now 0-3 and this Lee Sin is 3-0. So things like this happen from time to time. You know, your lanes fail and there's not much you can do about it, you know. The Olaf really didn't get any pressure from this Amumu. It's just he died one-on-one. Stuff like that happens. You just got to play on and try to pull out any advantages that you can in other lanes. So we see that bottom lane is now freezing. They want to farm back up. Modesty Boy right here is 4-1-0 and he has 76 CS, whereas Vayne has 35 and 1 kill. So she's extremely behind. And the best thing to do at this point is to just press our advantages. And that's what we're going to do right here. There's no way a TF can defend. There's no way a TF can defend mid tower versus 4 people. So that's what we're trying to do right here. So Amumu goes down. She didn't expect bot lane to be here, and that's what pressing your advantages is good for. Catching people off guard when they don't expect it. Most people that aren't experienced would just run to bottom lane again. If you press your advantages on other lanes, people don't expect it. If you're a top laner and you're 4-0 and you head to bot lane, a lot of the time people won't expect it. And you'll catch people off guard, you'll get kills that you aren't supposed to, and it'll really snowball the game. So you can see here we forced a bunch of fights by just pressing mid. Bottom lane is reacting accordingly, they're pushing out the wave. They're going to punish us for not being in that lane, but it's okay, we've done a lot in the time that we haven't been bottom lane. So you can see Modesty Boy, he actually failed his E right there and he tries to just walk in and basically gives Vayne back an advantage for free. That's a huge misplay on his part, but you know, gotta move on. You can see Vayne has just caught up. She has 50, well, she hasn't caught up too much. She's 57 CS and she got the killing spree from Graves, so that kind of put her back in the game. But there's a lot of room for error from this Graves, just because we did so good early game. So I'm just getting some last hits really quickly. I'm going to clear my jungle camps because they're up. So anytime a buff is up, I immediately go for the buff. I don't like leaving buffs. I don't like letting buffs linger unless I know I'm going to get something out of it. So sometimes there's something more critical to do on the map than get a buff. See, I'm just forcing a lot of pressure. Oh my gosh, Katarina's so strong right now. She has so much damage. Oh. And she was so close to getting the double kill right there, but she got stunned by Mumu, and she got a little too greedy there. So really, I haven't done much jungling this game. I've just put pressure on lanes, and if you can successfully put pressure on lanes, it's worth more than jungling. Successful ganks snowball the game way harder than getting multiple camps on cooldown. So if you can, you always try to go for some successful ganks. That's why it's always good to pay attention to how the lanes are playing, and it's good to pay attention to if the support, or where the support is warding, where the mid is warding. When we play in competitive games, I always ask GG, what side is warded? What side do you think is warded? And we play off which side we think is warded. So for instance, if left side's warded, we play off the side that we don't think is warded. So if left side is warded, then we'll hop on to right side and we'll ambush the TF from the right side. And if it doesn't work, then I just back away after about 10 seconds and go back to my jungle. And I'll try again in 3 minutes. Hopefully GG will know where the ward is. And that's how you get 100% successful ganks off, is that you basically know where they're placing the wards. When they come back into lane, watch them. If they show you how many wards they have, you can assume where the wards are. Same goes with top lane. So right here, TF gets caught off guard. We try to go in for something. Nothing to go for. I'm just constantly clearing wards and putting pressure on the map. I'm buying wards, buying health pots. If you check out my items, I have Boots of Mobility, Heart of Gold, Philo Stone. This is typically what I go on for every Cho'Gath game. I like Boots of Mobility just because when I come into lanes at 483 move speed, it's really hard to get away from my ruptures. I close distance, I walk at them, and then once they get bored of trying to juke my skill shots, then I land a skill shot. And the massive amount of move speed lets me close distance better, so that they get bored fast, basically. So here we just blow some summoners. Not too bad on our part. I see TF wanted to ult there, and so that's why I didn't TP over Baron. And then Katarina comes out of nowhere and picks up double kill. Katarina is just so snowbally right now. If she gets ahead, she just snowballs the game. So Mandatory Cloud, very good player. He's doing exceptionally well with his mid lane play on Katarina. So I'm just gonna do what I'm doing, which is clearing wards. I constantly check for wards. My ward path, when I walk into an area, I always do this. I always check the brushes. Always check the brushes. Bam, bam, bam. I've checked every possible location that a ward could be, and then I go into doing whatever I need to do. So I silenced the Mumu right here, just in case he had ultimate. He didn't actually have ultimate, because he used it earlier. That could have been really bad for us, so I think that was a bit of a misplay on our part. It is very dangerous to do that. Now if you look at the vision right now, SF1, you can see this is our vision, and these are mostly my wards. I've been placing my wards really deep, and when you place wards really deep, you only need the tell to know where the enemy is approximately. You don't need to know the exact location of the enemy. You just need to know the approximate location. So, for instance, if you're a mid laner, you would optimally like to ward Wraiths instead of warding right outside here. This is safer to ward, but this is more of a tell. It gives you more time to react. It gives you more time to just play games. Whereas here, you can you might be a little overextended mid lane. You won't have enough. You won't have enough distance to kind of play with. Here, you get as much distance as you need. So that's what I always try to go for. If I can shoot for deep wards, I shoot for deep wards. So this game, I opted for 3 gold for 5s. I think that was a little bit of a mistake on my part. It's really late for that 3rd gold for 5, but I decided to get it anyway. So I guess Mumu just got caught off by Janna right here. That was a really good ultimate by Janna. Knocked him back right into us. And Mandatory is just going to snowball that because she's Mandatory Cloud is really far ahead. You can see 7-2 and 2. So I'm just doing what I can to clear wards and kind of play a supporting role. Games are snowballed hardest. That was a fail word by me. Games are snowballed hardest by playing like a support jungler, supporting your lanes, making sure that they get ahead. You know, you won't be able to carry and 1v5 people, but that's not your job. Your job is to help your lanes win. That's the best way you can snowball a game. So, I'm just checking for wards. Always checking for those wards. I feel that I can get a rupture here because it boosts in mobility. Let's see. Nope. A little bit slow. Let's speed this up. I don't think much is happening. So, Vayne is on a ward right there. She doesn't see us coming. I know she doesn't see us coming. So I land a rupture, silence. Now she can't flash. And she's dead. Always silence as fast as possible. Had she seen the rupture, she probably would have tumbled. I mean, sorry. If I hadn't silenced right after, she would have just tumbled or flashed away. So it's really key to just get the silence off as soon as possible. She actually had cleanse, and she could have cleansed and got out of that, but she was a bit slow. And so this is just Katarina Snowball right here. She's dead. Tower dive. Here, this is a very questionable play by me. I shouldn't be in their base, but I am because I'm not very smart. And do I get away? Nope, I don't get away. I tried to land a blind rupture, but no luck, and I'm dead. Ouch. So I lost Oracle and some stacks because I was trolling a bit there. So that caused us to lose a lot of gold and a lot of stuff. Modesty boy coming in here trying to pick up Westor. Gets stunned. That was pretty late cleanse, but I think he's so far ahead that he's just going to kill him. So I pick up an Aegis as my next item. Aegis is critical to a team. You need to have at least 1 Aegis per team. It just gives you so much gold. Efficiency in terms of gold for an item. So at least get 1 Aegis on your team. So I don't have an Oracle now because I've just purchased my Aegis and I didn't have enough for an Oracle. So I'm just going to just try my best to catch people off guard. Me and Chris catch Elite JB off guard. He's done. So we're 7k gold ahead on very snowbally champions like Katarina, so this game is very, very good for us so far. My score is 5-1-11 and I have 70 CS. My CS is quite low. You can see this in Mumu that's been dead half the game has about the same CS as me, and I've been taking lane CS. I haven't been taking much jungle CS. Now this late in the game, I don't need to take my buffs on every single cooldown. I usually let my lanes do that, just because at this point my lanes do more with buffs than I do. So there's no point for me to worry about them. Westor, really nice play right there. So Vayne knew she could kill me, that's why I ran out immediately, and I landed a Rupture. And now I think I'm going to silence her right here, and she's going to get bursted by Katarina. Could be wrong. Oh, nope. Katarina just went to kill the Nunu. The way Katarina is right now in this patch is just, it's so funny. She gets one kill and she just snowballs the rest of the team fight. Right now, just because she snowballed, she just dominates everything. I think she might be a little bit on the strong side. So we're gonna pick up this Baron, looks like. I would do Baron. Yeah, we do Baron. Katarina's gonna tank it a bit. She has a DA, she has a lot of armor. Shouldn't be too hard for us to do. Nunu comes in, but we're not really worried about a Nunu. Okay, we get a Nunu for free. We're all very, very low, so we don't want to die to TF. So we just back off right here. Westor is getting a little greedy because we're all low health. Daisy Poo does a really great job right there. She picks up 2 kills out of a situation where she would have got none, and she picks up the double buffs. So, actually, Amumu picked up the double buffs, or did she pick up the double buffs? Let me just look really. Yeah, Amumu picked up the doubles. So, and then she fed it to Janna. So a little bit of a misplay on our part by staying after Daisy Poo came in. We tried to kill her. These two tried to kill her and swap onto her when we couldn't have, and got them 2 kills that they shouldn't have got. So when the lane is coming to the tower, that's when I come in and I clear it. Note how I don't push the lane up all the way up here. There's better things that I can be doing than pushing it all the way up to this tower right here. A lot of people like to farm up and to do that sort of thing, but it's just not that great for multiple reasons. You can die, number one. You can see here we have no vision on the map, so it's very dangerous. Number 2 is that you only need a small creep wave advantage, and then it'll start building up, and then you'll get that build-up scenario where someone has to clean the wave. The build-up scenario is really good for putting pressure across the map. And see, had I chose to keep farming for that one wave, I wouldn't have been here in time to save my team from this team fight they just got themselves into, and we would have lost the game right there. And whoops, my bad, I changed the camera angle a little bit. So this is the build-up scenario. It's starting to build up. It's going to eventually clump up so much that they're going to have to send someone bottom. And then at that point, we can just force another Baron, because it'll be 4v5. So Elite JB getting caught off guard. He's been playing a little bit bad this game. You can see by his 0-10-4 score. It's not necessarily him playing terrible, it's also that was just silly by me. I went just full bad mode right there. I tried to rupture like 4 of them over here and I went into melee range. It was just, I remember myself in that situation. I was like, ugh, that was dumb. So my team's getting into a fight right here. Katarina still has GA. So I think she'll be able to clean up this team fight quite well. Yeah, you can see right here, Katarina just decimates everyone. So we're just trying to finish this game. We're working real hard to finish this game.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
So we got a turret, we're backing off. Mandatory Cloud lost his GA. And we don't get too greedy for an inhib. If you know the enemy is going to respawn, you just press tab and check out their death timers. We can see on the side of the screen right here. But yeah, you always need to be aware of them. So the enemy thinks we're doing Baron right now. I think that's what they mean by the. I think that's why the massive pings are going off over there. What we're supposed to do is just clear out the lanes and get to Baron as soon as possible, because 5 or 10 CS doesn't really change the game at this point. The thing that really changes games is team fights and objectives. So that's what we're going to try to do right now, is just group up, force objective, and force team fights. So right here, I'm forcing objective, I'm just clearing this tower, no problem. I think I'm going to swing onto mid after I push this wave, and it's going to build up and hopefully take this tower. I think I stayed a little too long, actually. I don't think I should have cleared that wave. Anyways, my team's doing fine. They have no turret, and I guess they just straight up walked into middle and killed them. Westdoor's trying to backdoor. I think he knows this game is pretty much lost, so he's just trying to do as much damage as he can. And I think the game ends right here. Westdoor can't backdoor as fast as we can kill both Nexus turrets. And the game is over. Okay. So overall, we learned a few things from that game. I learned a few things from that game. Katarina is OP when she snowballs. Always pay attention to enemies' wards. You don't have to necessarily gank every single lane and help out every single lane. You can only do so much at one time. So this game I focused a lot on bottom lane just because I knew where all the wards are. I knew where to sit. I knew where to go. And when you know where everything is, most likely your ganks are going to be successful every single time. So if you can just keep track of where the wards are, then it's just, I can't emphasize it enough. It's so important to just know where the enemy's wards are. Also, my build order, if you look, I rush Boots of Mobility. I find Boots of Mobility a great pickup right off the bat when I can purchase it. Cho'Gath already has a really good jungle clear, and when I level E first, which I did this game, he clears the jungle with relative ease, so I don't really need much in terms of like health or regen or anything like that. And I'm doing minimal clearing. I'm just constantly putting pressure on lanes, constantly ganking, and I just do what's best for my team. So we'll go into runes and masteries right now. So we'll look at my page. I know my page off by heart, but I'm going to show you guys really quickly. So this is my page right here. I go MR scaling blues. I get about 5 of them. You don't have to have the exact amount that I have. Preferably have a mix. I feel is better, just because you'll be putting in so much early game pressure that you won't really be able to snowball too hard with a Glyph of Shielding, Greater Glyph of Shielding. Wardings are kind of better early game, so I just kind of split it up so that I have some early game magic resist against Swark Boots and that sort of thing. And I get some magic resist later. It's very negligible, but this is just my preference, so I like getting a little mix. Greater quintessence of swiftness, very, very important for closing distance. When I'm running at someone and I'm holding on my skill shot and they start juking, the faster I can close in on them, the faster they're going to make that choice to start running away in a straight line. They'll commit to a decision. If I take longer to run up to them, then they have more time to make up their mind whether they want to just run away or juke. It basically gives them less time to react. So that's why move speed is very, very critical. Not only that, you can run around the map faster, which is always a good thing. Armor, greater seal of resilience. The only rune you should ever use on any jungler. Armor yellow's by far the best rune. I think almost every lane, even mid, can use greater seal of resiliences. So if I were to pick up a rune first, I would probably pick up these. They work on every single rune page. They're really, really good. They're just a great pickup overall. And I think I would pick up maybe greater glyph of warding too, or greater glyph of shielding based on whichever is cheaper. But you can't go wrong with greater seal of resilience, so I would pick those up. For junglers, most junglers, everyone but Amumu, pretty much uses a greater mark of. Is that a lesser? How do you say that, boy? I can't even say that. Help me, Keldy. I don't want to fail the pronunciation.
A clarity?
A clarity. There we go.
Wait. No.
No?
Clarity. That's just order now. Alacrity?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to kill the pronunciation. But pick up those attack speed marks. We'll just call them attack speed marks. They improve your damage on pretty much every champion when it comes to jungling. You can't go wrong with having a bunch of attack speed runes in the reds. It's pretty much optimal on almost every jungle champion, especially Cho'Gath. It's very, very optimal because it scales off my my Vorpal spikes. So definitely pick those up. And that's my rune page. And the masteries are always 0, 21, 9 in this order. So I'll go through why I choose certain runes and I choose certain masteries. Sorry, I'll just talk about masteries right now. So Summoner's Resolve, it's always good. It gives you 10 gold per smite usage. It's better than having 2 magic resist mathematically. So definitely pick up Summoner's Resolve. It gives you every 3 smites you basically get another health potion, which is way better than having +2 magic resist. Hardiness, always a good thing. It makes you more tanky so that I can afford to buy oracles early game and I can afford to clear my jungle easier. I take less damage in the jungle, so that's always a good thing. Tough Skin, same thing. It reduces the damage in the jungle by so much, and it lets me get Bladed Armor, which Bladed Armor is 6 damage per minion that hits you. When you're doing something like Race, it's 6 times 4, and so you're like 6 times 4, 6 times 4, 6 times 4 every time they hit you, and it actually speeds up your jungle clear by a significant amount, especially on slow junglers. So definitely pick up Bladed Armor. Durability is always good just because it transitions into Veteran Scars. 30 health for 1 point, not too shabby. Indomitable, probably one of the best skills you can get, especially with toughness. If you have a high amount of armor and toughness or tough skin and indomitable, you reduce damage by 4. And so if you go into lane and you hit like a champion or something, you reduce the damage of the minions by a significant amount, more than any other, like another 4 points of hardiness basically. It reduces damage by so much, and especially on the little camps, it does do work. So definitely pick up Indomitable. Initiator is always good. I always try to keep myself over 70% health so that I get the extra 3% move speed. Always do try to keep yourself 70%, above 70% so that you can get Initiator. It's very, very important. So always buy a 1 health pot or 2 health pots to make sure that you have that extra 3%. It stacks with the move speed that you're getting from the runes, so that you just limit their ability to close distance. You can actually just run at them, and if they don't choose to just run straight away, you'll pretty much catch up to them in no time, and you'll be able to close that distance. Enlightenment, 8.1% cooldown reduction at max rank, not too shabby. I don't get cooldown in my items really. I mean, I get Frozen Heart when I can, but that doesn't make me hit CDR cap anyway. 40% is CDR cap, so that's why Enlightenment's really good. And the last point is always the best point in the tree usually. And Juggernaut's just really good, maximum health by 3% and reduced the duration of incoming disables. I think Juggernaut is the second best of the last points in the trees. For 1 point, it's definitely a pickup. You have to get it. If you look at Mastermind, I actually think Mastermind is probably the best last point in all the trees, but I feel that the points leading up to Juggernaut are far better than the points leading up to Mastermind for junglers. But it's just very, very good overall. So if you can ever pull it off, like on Fiddlesticks, then definitely pick up Mastermind. So anyways, we're going into my utility. Lower CD on Flash, always a good thing. Good Hands. Good Hands is a good passive. It's not the best, but it's definitely, like, if you're not getting meditation, meditation is one of the best mana utility skills in the game. It's actually one of the most cost-effective masteries in the game. So on champions like top laners like Aurelia, Nidalee, I always try to shoot for meditation, and that means I have to get Expanded Mind. Expanded Mind is not too good. Scaling mana, like mana is not really critical late game, so you need mana at the very start of the game, and that's why Expanded Mind's not too good. And so Cho'Gath doesn't really need mana. I don't really go on Cho'Gath just because of his passive, just because of his really I'm only using my Q and my W when I'm going to gank. I don't need to use my W ever when I'm jungling unless I have blue buff to speed up my jungle. So definitely it's something to skip on Cho'Gath, just because we want more move speed. The higher move speed that you have, the better you can close distance and land those skill shots. Move speed is critical for landing skill shots. You'll actually find, play any skill shot champion, Morgana. The more you can close distance on them, is the easier it is to land. It's easier to land the skill shot. Also, it'll put them in a more pressured situation to make a decision to whether. It'll basically put them in a pressured situation. Whereas if you had really low move speed, they wouldn't get into that pressured situation. And then probably one of the best talents in the game for junglers, Runic Affinity, increases the duration of your red buff, your blue buff by 20%. And for 1 point, I think this is probably one of the best skills, one of the best best masteries in the game. I think only second to Mastermind. Mastermind is just so good. 15% on summoner spells is just crazy. But Runic Affinity is so good too. So this is my Cho'Gath page. This is my Udyr page. This is my Trundle page. This is pretty much my page for almost every jungler. And the only thing that ever differs is if I'm on a jungler that needs mana, like a Mumu, I'll get Expanded Mind and Meditation, and I'll only get 1 point into Swiftness, and I won't get any Good Hands or Improved Recall. So just for the visual, it's basically this. 1 point into that, save Masteries. And that's my Mumu page. And yeah, so I guess this is my tutorial. Please leave some comments on the comment box below. Tell me what you want me to improve on, what I can talk to you about more, explain more, what champions you want to see, and I'll get back to you soon. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.